1.3 Public Interest Litigation. Before starting this topic, let's know about the public interest litigation. Okay, so it is a process of taking legal action on any matter related to public interest. For example, if you see a 10-year-old child working in a brick kiln, you can file a PIL in court. Or if you see some people destructing hundreds of trees for their industrial company, you can file a PIL against them as it is an environmental issue. Thus, the PIL is the right given to any citizen of India, and we can file PIL on both public matters as well as the private matters. I hope you got a basic idea on PIL. Now let's look into this topic. So the PIL is in news because the Supreme Court stated that pointless or senseless public interest litigation will not be entertained anymore, and also said that penalties will be issued on them who file unreasonable PILs on or the luxury litigations. So now let's know about the background of PIL. Look into this box. Here, the public interest concept was introduced by Justice Krishna Iyer in the year 1976. Okay, so in Mumbai Kamagar Sabha versus Abdul Thai case, so this case actually deals with the payments of bonus to the workers as per the Payment of Bonus Act of 1967. Okay, so as the bonus was not considered for unregistered workers by the company, they filed a petition under Article 32. Okay, here Article 32 is right to constitutional remedies. So the first PIL was reported in the year 1979. So here in this case, a PIL concept was introduced, and next in the first ever reported public interest litigation was in the year 1979. Okay, in Husainara Khatun versus the state of Bihar, the case is about the inhuman conditions of the prisons and the under trials. So next, SP Gupta versus Union of India case. So this is a landmark case, and this case is also known as the judges transfer case. So this case is related to who will have the right to appoint judges, whether it is the head of the executive, that is the president, or whether it is a CJI. And in this case, the Supreme Court has said that president will have the right to appoint judges. So based on the judgments, many PILs was filed, and they stated that when three institutions, that is executive, legislature and judiciary, are independent, then how can president, who is the head of the executive, appoint judges? So this is about this case. So this case is also known as the first judges case, and the PIL was filed by Justice P.N. Bhagwati, and the Justice Bhagwati was called the father of public interest litigation. Okay, so the concept of PIL was borrowed from the American judiciary. Okay, so it was borrowed from American judiciary. So under Article 39A, that is Article 39A means equal justice and free legal aid. So this public interest litigation was based under Article 39A. 39A is equal justice and free legal aid. Okay, based upon this concept, this PIL was introduced. So when you come across a bonded labor, violence on women, environmental pollution, food adulteration, maintenance of heritage, and maintenance of culture, etc., you can file a PIL. Okay, so it is not only a person who is undergoing bonded labor, violence, or any who is undergoing violence, but if anybody or any citizen who has information on those cases have the power to file a case, and this power is given by the citizen, given to the citizens by the court. Okay, you can file public interest litigation in high courts or directly to the Supreme Court itself. Okay, so some of the landmark judgment cases of the public interest litigation are: the first is SP Gupta case versus SP Gupta versus Union of India case 1981. So in this case, Supreme Court has stated that any person can appeal a writ jurisdiction under the Article 226. Now what is this Article 226? It is anybody can invoke writ jurisdiction on of Supreme Court or High Court. Okay, and Article 32. So Article 32 is right to constitutional remedies. So under this case, the Supreme Court has stated that any person can appeal a jurisdiction under Article 226 of for High Court or Article 32 for the Supreme Court. Okay, so next case is MC Mehta versus Union of India case 1987. Okay, under this case, the PIL was filed against Ganga water pollution. So that means on environmental matters also public interest litigation can be filed. And the third case is Vishaka versus the state of Rajasthan 1997. So in this case, Supreme Court recognized that sexual harassment is the violation of fundamental rights. That means any citizen can file a PIL against it. And the fourth case is Indian Banks Association Bombay and ORS versus Devkala Consultancy Services and ORS 2004. So in this case, Supreme Court has stated that even a private case can also be treated as the public interest litigation. So if any industry people destructing hundreds or some many trees, you can file a PIL against them as those acts causes environmental pollution. Okay, now look here about the significance of PIL. So the importance of this PIL is, first point is it helps to implement the concept of judicial review. Now what is this judicial review? Here the judicial review means the judiciary can express its opinion on the laws made by the parliament. And the second importance is this PIL helps people to participate in the judicial process. And the third thing is it helps the poor and the disadvantaged group to obtain social justice. Let's assume the tribal children are working as bonded labor. So any citizen who knows this information that they are working as a bonded labor can file PIL and rescue them. Okay, and the fourth importance is it promotes a sense of responsibility in among the people. And next is it can also promote rule of law, transparency and reduce corruption, and people can enjoy fundamental rights and in more effective way. Okay, so these are some of the importances of public interest litigation. So let's look into the issues with this public interest litigation. So here the first point is public interest litigation is being used for publicity or private interest. This is being used to promote communal agenda or religion agenda, etc. And the next is due to seamless public interest litigations. Some public interest litigations has no meaning. Okay, so due to this seamless public interest litigations, even the time of judiciary is being wasted upon it. And the third issue is people this public interest litigation is now being used for delaying the developmental activities. For example, public interest litigation was filed against activities at the premises of Puri Jagannath temple. So, to delay the developmental activities on Puri Jagannath temple, this was filed. So, it delays the developmental activities also. And in some cases, the criticism is on rise regarding the judiciary crossing its boundaries. For example, boundaries like judiciary released a statement on ban of liquor sale on highways. So there is some criticism that judiciary is crossing its limits and involving in executive matters. So these are the issues regarding the PIL. So based on these issues, the Supreme Court has provided few guidelines for filing this PIL. See here, look into this box. So those guidelines involve verifying about the petitioner and checking the correctness of the PIL, and the PIL filed should be of larger public interest, and the PIL should not have any personal gain or motive. And the last one is the PIL should aim to solve the genuine public harm. Okay, so now we'll look into this way forward. So the Supreme Court should issue the guidelines, proper guidelines regarding this PIL. And next is the judiciary should not violate the doctrine of separation of powers. It should not overstep its boundaries, and the PIL should be solved in time. Okay, and penalty, that is the personal gain PIL or publicity PILs should be penalized.